Hello there, everyone. Santa here with Slickstar Gaming, and welcome back to more Final Fantasy XIV, a Realm Reborn, where there can be lion people with giant fairy wings. It's true. In today's episode of Side Content, we've got for you the second crafting class that's located in the same place as another. Last time we did the Blacksmith's Guild, today it's going to be the Armorer's Guild. Instead of making weapons, we're making armor, chainmail, helmets, gauntlets, that sort of thing. All right, we already started blacksmithing right here in this same guild, but now we need to start the Armorer quests. Another crafter. Shocker. Really shouldn't be. Anyways, like I'm doing at the top of every of our crafting class video segments, episodes. I don't know how these are going to line out editing-wise. Crafting requires you to craft things. I know. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you craft things as a crafter? That's like you expecting you to kill things when you're doing a combat class. It just doesn't make any sense. But sometimes when you're going out crafting, you'll have to get up all these materials, and sometimes you might have them already, sometimes you don't. And you have to go out into the world and get them. This will involve either picking up your axe or your pickaxe and doing your botany and your mining. Sometimes you have to go fishing. Probably not for this one. You might have to just straight up buy things or craft more things and get more materials, which may also require crafting in a whole big pyramid of crafting materials. For the purpose of saving both our time and my sanity, I will not be showing how I craft or how I obtain every single material that needed for our quest crafts. I will say what I needed, and I'll say how I got them. But I'm not going to go any further than that because it'll just drive me insane. So, with that said, let's go ahead and pick up the second crafting class that's right here in, what is this place called? Naldic and Vimeli. Sat a hammer and bring you in from the street, did it, lad? It's well that you find the din inviting for the Armorer's Guild. It's not the place for quiet reverie. At the clangor of metal striking metal as music to your ears, mayhap you've the spirit of a shipwright. Are you in mind to join our guild? Take it from me, lad. There's no greater joy than working a shapeless lump of iron into a shining breastplate with your own hands. What say you then? Okay. Well said, lad. Now, we should cover a bit of guild history before forging ahead with the formalities. The armorer's craft is an offshoot of blacksmithing. Time was when armorers and smithies were one and the same. I think I read that incorrectly, but moving on. But as the years trickled by, the techniques for working sheet metal into armor plates became a more specialized trade. And the smithies, who showed uncommon skill and passion for this trade, earned themselves the title of armorer. Now, as you can probably imagine, the skills necessary for making armor are also needed for shipbuilding. But building ships is a bit harder than knocking out simple helms, which led those armorers who were good enough to work on boats to claim the title of shipwright. Unfortunately for you, there is no shipwright guild that you can go join. Of course, it was one thing calling armorers blacksmiths and shipwrights armorers, but it was quite another calling shipwrights blacksmiths. Because building a ship and making a hatchet couldn't be more different. It seemed as though a line needed drawn, and seeing as how low-limbed Laminsa was built on the strength of a navy, you can imagine why the armorers chose to cut their ties with the smithies and establish a guild of their own. That does make sense. With the shipwrights, though. As for the smithies, well, the whole notion of an independent armorers guild never did sit well with them. There's been a fair old rivalry between our two factions ever since. Always trying to outdo each other, we are. Which is why we're ever on the lookout for new talent to help us keep the smithy bastards in their place. All I need to do is impress their forge master and we can start you on your training. What if I join both guilds? I'm sorry, you what? Yeah, Wanako. He's gonna join both our guilds. You calm down, Randwolf. But why? Because I forgot your voice. Be warned, Forge Master Hanaza's tongue could strip the scales of a fish back at 40 paces. Saying that, You won't find a fair mistress this side of the Strait of Merlthor. Let me know that you've mustered the courage to speak with her, and I'll see to the rest. Alright, alright. Your mind's made up then? You're ready to throw your lot in with us armorers? Way of the Armorer. Guanaco wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Armorers Guild. Then it's time you made yourself known to the Forge Master. That's no empty title, by the way. Hananza's a renowned shipwright and one of the finest crafters in all Limsa. Head outside and you'll find her blistering the skins of our newest initiates. Blistering their skin? Oh boy. Good thing I'm a healer. Another aspiring armorer, are you? Welcome. I am Hananza, Forge Master of this guild. I take it Guanaco has explained to you the history and nature of our craft? Good. I have a little to add on that front, save this. The life of an armorer is not an easy one. Day after day, you will pit flesh and blood against iron and flame. Without a passion for the forge, you will fail. But passion alone will not make an armorer of you. To truly master this craft, you must be possessed of a will as unyielding as the metals you work. Knowing what lies before you, have you the fortitude to persevere? Yeah. Ha! I see you have no fear of hard work. Good. That is well. Consider your request to join the guild approved. But if you ever give me aught less than your best, you will be out the door before you realize my boot has connected with your backside. Are we clear on that? Good. Now that we understand each other, let us begin with the basics. What is your name? Yaranthe? Very well. Let me know when you feel comfortable with this hammer that I'm giving you now, that I totally missed the dialogue for. I'll let you know if you're holding it properly. Blacksmithing gave us a cross-peen hammer. Oh, armor unlocked. Armorer is going to give us a doming hammer. Oh god, our clothes. And we get rid of these useless buttons. My first doming hammer, Forge Master Hananza, which is to see what use you can make of your new doming hammer. Yes. If I didn't know better, I think you were an armorer, Yaranthe. Of course, I do know better. Until you craft something with that hammer of yours, you look like a babe with a rattle to me, and I have no intention of mothering you. Make no mistake, I mean to shape you into an artisan, however hard I have to pound. Save your sweat for the forge, lad. I don't expect you to fashion full suits of plate on your first day. Just pay close attention to my instructions. Be diligent in your work. The skill will come in due time. Now, let's be about your first lesson, shall we? I want you to take up your hammer and make me a bronze ingot. A mundane task, I grant you, but one which every armorer must master. Bronze, you see, is the most basic material of the craft, and bronze ingots are its building blocks. So it's not the strongest of alloys, but it is that very quality that makes bronze so easy to shape, and the metal of choice for a novice armorer. To forge your ingot, you'll need to procure 2 chunks of copper ore, a chunk of tin ore, and an ice shard. The ore can be purchased from Somerweb here at the guild. The ice shard, you'll have to find on your own. Well, are you waiting for me to swing your arm for you? Or maybe you would have me swing my boot. So, this should sound familiar if you watched the blacksmithing portion already. Bronze ingot is the same thing we had to make for our first blacksmithing quest. Pretty familiar. So I'm opening up our crafting log here, pressing the N key. And we require 1 ice shard, 2 copper ore, and 1 tin ore. I think for blacksmithing it was a fire shard. Let me look at that. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Blacksmithing, there it is. Yeah, they wanted fire. But for the armor version, it's ice. There's actually a good amount of crossover between armor and blacksmithing, between like the things that you can craft between them. Not everything crosses over, but a few things. More than other classes have, that's for sure. So for our materials here, a shard or something crystal, cluster, whichever, is required for all of your crafting. You get them out in the world in a variety of ways, gathering, killing some monsters. If I ever run out, I'm just going to go to the marketplace and buy them, because hell no. But as for copper and tin ore, I got those by going out mining in, I think it was Central... Yeah, Central Tin. So if you need those, that's where you get them. Let's click Synthesize. We open up a little interface here. Our goal is to reach progress going from all the way to nothing and get it all the way to full before our durability hits 0. For this first quest, it's really easy. We only have one button, but that's all we need. Basic Synthesis. Job well done. Where's that bronze ingot I asked for? It's right here. Oh, my apologies. Completed your first task, have you? Well then, let's have a look at this ingot. This is the sort of quality I expect from you, is it? For a novice armorer, this is excellent work. Well done, Yerente. The key to making good bronze is judging the ratio of copper to tin. With too much tin, the alloy becomes harder, but also more brittle. Not the sort of material you want protecting your vital organs. Lest you forget, quality is a matter of life and death in our craft. That's why we teach our initiates the ideal metallurgic composition of every item we forge. Not that all are quick to learn. There are some who seem destined to produce mediocre results, however painstakingly... There are some who seem destined to produce mediocre results, however painstakingly the processes are explained. Thank the builder you're not one of them. I am pleased to say your ingot will fetch a decent price in the markets. But do not let this first success make you complacent. A single bad helm will lose you more trust than 100 good ones will win. Because bad armor means dead men. It's not enough that your work be good. It must needs be consistently good. And achieving that consistency requires discipline and long hours of crafting the same item over and over, again and again. For you, this means a mountain of bronze ingots. Bronze ingots in your dreams. Bronze ingots until the process is so ingrained that you wake up and find that your pillow is an ingot you made in your sleep. When you feel you've learned all you can from 14 bronze ingots, seek me out, and I'll find you something else to craft. May the builder guide your hand, Yerente. I know this sounds a little intense, but to be completely fair, she's right. If you make bad armor, that's a dead man on your hands. If somebody dies because they wore your armor and the quality was not up to snuff, you're responsible for that. From thigh to neck. Forge Master Hananza seeks your assistance in fulfilling a customer's order. Yerente, I think you're now intimate with every aspect of the bronze ingots production? Oh yeah. Good. Then you can assist us in a pressing matter. It seems that one of our younger members, Swithin, accepted an order which he would struggle to fulfill in thrice the time he promised. While I am tempted to let him squeal under the weight of his own ambition, the guild is not in the habit of delivering late. Several veteran armorers have volunteered their services, but I'd also like you to assist in this matter. On the one hand, you'll be helping to spare the guild unnecessary embarrassment, and on the other, you'll be deepening your understanding of the craft. The builder could not have planned it better. For your part in this endeavor, you were to craft 3 bronze hoplons. You'll need bronze plate and maple lumber to make the shields. While we're on the subject, how have you been acquiring your materials? The markets are a reliable source, but have you considered making an arrangement with a miner or a botanist? I'm actually both. Oh. Huh. Alright. Well, as you will have gleaned, the craft calls for a near constant supply of copper and tin, both of which are commonly mined in the region of Thanalan. Should your purse grow too light for comfort, there's little to stop you taking up a pickaxe yourself. For the time being, however, I want you to concentrate on honing your skills as an armorer. With the fundamentals under your belt, Hoplons will prove too challenging, but do not fall into the trap of complacency. A poorly wrought shield is worse than no shield at all. Each piece you craft, however simple, must reflect the utmost attention to detail. Make the guild proud, Yaranthe. Can do. Let's open our crafting menu, look for the bronze hoplon. There it is. So it requires 2 bronze plates and 1 maple lumber. The maple lumber is crafted using maple logs. The bronze plate is crafted... actually, you know what? I can do this. Right-click the item and do search by crafting method. And it'll bring you the recipe. It was 2 bronze ingots. Look at that. Alright, let's craft the hoplon. We have a new... Oh, I need to rearrange these. We have a new button now that lets us increase the item's quality. Doesn't matter for these quests though, so we're not going to do it. But you can make an item into a high quality item, which is worth more. But for story quests, it don't mean shit. Four basic syntheses is all we needed. Now, since we made that once, we can now go ahead and go to this quick synthesis button. This button unlocks when any of your characters hits level 10, and it lets you make multiple of an item much faster in an automated process. So I just click in how many I want to make, and I click synthesize, and the game does it for me. Like that. How neat. How fare you with your task? You have those 3 hoplon for me? I do. Oh, okay, game. Impressive. You've managed to balance the conflicting requirements of sturdiness and portability, much as you balanced hardness and malleability in your first task. The bronze plate is securely fitted and should weather the most vicious blows without becoming dislodged. And importantly, your work was swift and sure. Many an armor has lost a sale due to a late delivery, and rightly so. A customer's need for armor is invariably pressing, and its absence like to be sorely felt. Given the stakes, a reputation for reliability can mean handsome profits, especially at a time when the Maelstrom is seeking armorers to outfit its ever-expanding ranks. It is all we can do to keep pace with the Grand Company's orders for equipment, and that is why every member of our guild must support the next, much as the warriors of Eld supported their fellows in the Phalanx with their shields. Though you have but recently begun your training, a man of your natural talents belongs in the front line. I think the time has come for you to learn the use of another weapon in the armorer's arsenal. Specifically, pliers. Take this pair and try using them in combination with your hammer. It will feel strange at first, but persist, and you'll find that your work proceeds a damn sight more smoothly. When you think you've mastered the pliers, I want to see the results of your dedication. Until then, Yaranthe. Certain gear grants bonuses to your craftsmanship, control, and CP values. A higher craftsmanship rating hastens the progress of synthesis. Greater control increases the chance of creating high-quality items, and additional CP improves your crafting stamina. Outfitting yourself with an eye to your current objective will increase the efficiency of your crafting endeavors. Alright, so, like our gatherers, all of our crafts get a secondary tool that they can wield. It's really just an aesthetic thing though, and some of your crafts will change what it shows you using. Nothing real special, but it exists. The base fundamentals. Forge Master Hananza wants you to assist a novice armorer who is struggling with the basics of the craft. Ooh, teaching already? Yaranthe, just the lad I was hoping to see. I'm a new initiate that has near exhausted my reserves of patience, and I think she would benefit from seeing the result of a peer's dedication and skill. Specifically, yours. Her name is Grenay, and Builder help me. She is the most distracted, bumblefingered craftswoman ever to lift a hammer. If she could but learn to forge the simplest of items without constant supervision, I would consider it a rare victory. It is unfortunate that Beauregard did not see fit to invest all of my armorers with your innate talents. But I suppose we must all start somewhere. And if I abandoned every initiate that was slow to grasp a technique, our guild would have a grand total of what? 9 members? Mayhap 10? I jest. But 'twould be few enough for our players in the Maelstrom to share breastplates, and I can't tell you how awkward that would be. So what say you, Yerente? We need only craft a dozen sheets of bronze plate to supplement Grenade's own. When they are ready, I want you to deliver them to the lass in person. Mayhap your example will inspire her to take more care with her work. Alright, so, we already have a bronze plate. Nice, we need to make 11 then. Cool! So, bronze plates. Where are bronze plates? There they are. They just take bronze ingots, which we've made several times before. They take 2 copper ore and 1 tin ore. Let's do a quick synthesis and make 11. And here you can watch me hammer. I do wish quick synthesis was a little bit quicker, in all honesty. Like, the animation is already sped up, but, like, I would not mind if it was faster. This is just a good, like, an auto thing to do. It's like, hey, if you want to, like, if you need to make, like, 99 or something, just, like, set it to auto and walk away for a few minutes. Go do something else. Oh, we got spear pump done. Nice. Let's see what material we get from that. Okay. So you might be wondering, hey, you said we made them all, but it says you only have 10 out of 12. Well, that's because 2 of them are high-quality items. We cannot turn in high-quality items for these quests. So then shouldn't I make 2 more? No! Right-click the item, click lower quality, check the box, click yes. Now we have 12. And before you turn them in, we need to combine the stacks, otherwise we can't turn them in. Ugh. But here we go. Oh, you'd be Yerente. The guildmaster told me you'd be... Oh no. Where did I put my hammer? Oh god, there it is. Sorry, what were you saying? Oh, right, yes. I'll be most grateful for the extra sheets of bronze plate. I've been ruining a few. Gods, did you craft these yourself? They're absolutely... Whoa! Nearly dropped them there. Ha! No harm done, though. Jesus. As I was saying, I can certainly see why the Forge Master speaks so highly of your work. The bronze is the perfect color and thickness, so I assume you carefully measured out the amounts of tin and copper? I always had too much tin. Well, you know metal can shatter. Yeah. Well, I didn't. Truth be told, I've tended to put all my effort into making the armor itself, rather than bothering with the base materials. I mean, compared to hammering out glorious winged helms or ornate graves, measuring out metals just seems so... trivial. But looking at your work, I'm beginning to wonder. I never realized how beautiful a simple sheet of bronze could be. With materials like this, just imagine the sturdy, shiny suits of armor one might create. It seems I've been putting the cart before the chocobo. From this moment onwards, I swear to focus all my attention and care on the task at hand. Even if the task at hand is forging bronze ingots. And what of you, Yerente? Do you have any grand projects waiting for you on the anvil? Not particularly. I've heard some of the senior armorers boast about the coin they made through tradecraft leaves. Might that be something you'd consider? That's how I've been leveling. Oh. Well, they say Tamakri over the Drowning Winch is the one to talk to. And that's where I'll be heading once I improve my technique. Now, where did I put that hammer? Oh dear. And we got a new hammer. Huzzah. One's own worst critic. Mood. Forge Master Hananza wishes you to offer a sympathetic ear to a novice armorer. Where have you been, Yerinthe? There's work to be done. I need to speak with another novice. A lass by the name of Durstweeda. I was due a barbet and a buckler from her a few bells ago, but I find myself standing here with nary a nose guard. Lest you wonder, Durstweeda is nothing like Grenade. She's as dedicated to the craft as you are, and I've never known her to miss a delivery. Something must be amiss, and I need you to find out what. I'd go and ask her myself, but I fear my usual approach would do more harm than good. The lass might be built like a stack of anvils, but she flinches at the merest hint of criticism. That's why I decided to assign you as Durstweeda's supervisor for this role. I'm counting on you to sort this out, Yerinthe. Some names, even though like I figure out the pronunciation one time, the next, like if I have to keep on saying it, I still pause. I'm like, oh god, how are you said again? I was wondering if Renee would say anything relevant after we did that quest, but no, she just says like random things. Somebody looks a little sad. A pleasure to meet you, sir. I'm sorry the Forge Master had to interrupt your work so that you might assist me with mine. I do hope you're not angry. I don't know if I can endure another dressing down. As pathetic as it sounds, it's actually the reason my delivery is late. I just can't bring myself to work. I'm sorry. I should start from the beginning. A short while ago, I received a visit from an armorer by the name of Blandsteer. He is of the Old Guard, a true veteran of the guild. After but a single glance at the armor I had made, he yelled that my work wasn't fit to cover a kobold's arse. And now I cannot bear the scene from my mind. A kobold, their butt covered in armor I made. Ugh. His face twisted in anger, with scornful words. Am I truly so talentless? The shame, it paralyzes me. If he had explained the flaws in my work, I might have never corrected him. But I couldn't bring myself to speak to him. Or to anyone else, for that matter. Not until now, when you kind of forced me to. Might you speak to Blandseer on my behalf? I would know the reason behind this reprimand. Blandseer sounds like a fun guy. I've been wondering when we would get introduced to him. I remembered him being a character. Hi, I'm Blandseer. You're looking for an armor with skill and integrity? You found him. What are you after then? Huh? You want to know what's amiss with Durstweeda's work? One of the guild's newer faces, are you? All these whelps traded under Hananza get their heads filled with daft bloody notions of cooperation and camaraderie. What they should be learning, how to use a pair of pliers. I've yet to meet one of our novices that could forge an ingot worth a damn. And them as ain't got the skill ain't worth me time. Which means you, boy. Now bugger off. Not budging, eh? Stubborn sod. Alright then. Tell you what. I'll give you one chance to prove yourself. Let's see you craft the same pieces your friend made such a meal of. A decorated bronze barbet and a bronze buckler, it were. And if they're half decent, we'll have ourselves a little chat. Fine, I can do that. A decorated bronze barbet requires, first of all, a regular bronze barbet, which had to be crafted with bronze plate, bronze rivets, and a copper ingot. It also requires a copper ingot and a brass ingot. So, let's get this made for Prickhead over here. Oh, I need to move this button. Nice. But look, we're using pliers. You said that we need to know how to use them. Guess what I could do? Done. Next up, bronze buckler. This is made from a bronze plate, a bronze ingot, and iron rivets, all of which were crafted items. Because I've had to make a lot of bronze ingots. All right, guy. Back at last, are ya? We'd have think it crawled out to Ul'dah to buy the damn things from a back alley peddler. Any road. Let's have a look, shall we? Bugger me. Are you sure you made these yourself? I literally made them in front of you. Huh. And at least one of Hanaz's whelps knows the difference twixt a hammer and a sledge. Builder, take me. You have some talent, lad. And I don't say that easy. This barbet, well, shows the character of your work as well. Precise and uncompromising, as it should be. You've realized the forging of hell made a matter of slapping a few molded sheets of bronze together. Nice. And your buckler's just as good. Small and light, but a damn sight sturdier than shields twice the size. Didn't expect to be saying this, but I'm impressed. With this level of quality and polish, you could make a tidy living for yourself as an artisan. But you're the exception as proves the rule, lad. Fact is, the other novices here ain't fit to lick your boots, Thirstweeda included. So you tell her this from me. If you've the time to wallow in wounded tears, you've the time to examine your own mistakes. There's no room in this world for craftsmen as can't criticize their own handiwork. So learn how to gauge your failings and correct them. Or hang up your bloody hammer. That's sort of... Basically you're saying, I'm not telling you how to fix it. If you're going to be an armorer, you need to figure out what you did wrong on your own. I mean, I get that, but sometimes people need to know, like, people can miss things, and they need to know, like, hey, how can I improve? You can't just let them figure it out on their own. That's not how things work. Or hang up my bloody hammer? Well, thank you, I guess, for passing on Blandsteer's advice. I believe I understand what he means to say, though. But not everyone has the inner fortitude to endure such criticism, be it from oneself or from others. If such strength is required to master the armorer's arts, mayhap I have mistaken my calling. I joined the guild with a dream of following Hanaz's footsteps, but I see now that was folly. I shall have to think long and hard about my aspirations. Please, convey my apologies to the Forge Master for the delay. Do I still have the things I made? Or did I give them to Blandsteer? I guess I gave them to Blandsteer. Ah, so it's Blandsteer that caused this mess? The old bastard always did take it upon himself to weed out the weaker initiates. We're not exactly the best of terms, he and I, even after all this time. I've known Blandsteer since we were not but wide-eyed novices, serving our apprentices under the same master. We always had our differences, but when our master retired, they became that much more stark. And when we both put ourselves forward for the role of Forge Master, the resulting contest drove a permanent wedge between us. Blandsteer's arguments are not entirely without merit, but neither is his approach the only way to train new armorers. For that damnable curmudgeon, though, it's his way or no way at all. The idea of nurturing aught less than God's given talent is anathema to him, and his ears wax death at the mere mention of it. But outfitting an army is the work of more than a talented few. It is the work of many hands, acting in unison. I have turned a blind eye to Blandsteer's behavior until now. But if he would threaten the unity of this guild, something must needs be done. I will think on it. I mean, I can do a contest against him. Pliers. We have new ones. An armorer's pride. Forge Master Hananza wishes to discuss the issue of Blandsteer and his actions within the guild. How fare you, Yerinthe? Have you had any further dealings with Blandsteer? If so, I do hope his bile has not begun to wear away at your better judgment. Lest you think me unjust, I do not dispute his skill with a hammer. I merely take issue with the lack of respect he shows to those he deems inferior. He is responsible for breaking the spirits of more than a few novice armorers, and our ranks suffer for it. But I cannot, in good conscience, remove his name from the guild register. For all his flaws, Blandsteer's knowledge and experience will be too great a loss. Instead, I must find a way to soften the old buzzard's stance, and for that, I require your assistance. He will not unfold his thoughts to me, but mayhap he will to you. Oh, don't look so surprised. You're one of the few armors in this place whom he wouldn't see cast out. He may possess all the charm of a rabid squirrel, but he does have a fine eye for talent, and an appreciation for well-crafted goods. Take him one of your best iron hoplons, and I dare say he'll share his thoughts with you. Oh, but I should warn you. Summerweeb has informed me that we scarcely have sufficient iron plate to cover our existing commissions, so you'll have to look elsewhere. Hawker's Alley will most certainly have what you need, or there's always the option of mining it yourself. Either way, I apologize for putting you to additional trouble. One last thing, I want you to meld materia to the finished shield. That should get the old sod's attention. Your vacant stare does not inspire confidence here and day. In brief, materia is the crystallized essence of a well-worn piece of equipment. Such crystals are attached to other gear to enhance various properties. If you would know more, you should consider paying Moonmix a visit at his camp in central Thanalan. He'll teach you about the process of enhancing equipment using materia. Oh, and he's a goblin. Now, the shield you craft must embody all the knowledge and skill you have gained thus far. The sight of it should serve to convince Blandsteer that you are a like-minded soul, and prompt him to speak to you as such. Good luck, Yerinthe. May the builder guide your hand. Alright, so let's start by making an iron hoplon. It takes 2 iron plates, which we have to craft with 2 iron ingots, which we crafted out of 6 iron ore that we got in Western Thanalan. And then in addition, an elm lumber, crafted from 3 elm logs, which I got from the central shroud. So, let's craft. Now, as for melding materia, so in order to do so, we right-click the iron hoplon, we select meld, and then we just pick a materia. For this quest, it does not matter. My only thought is that I don't want to use my common materia because I need them for something later. So I'm going to use a crafter materia. It's fine. We don't need this for anything at this time. Let's go to Blandsteer. See what he says. What do you want? Announce have you running errands again? Yeah, more or less. What's this? Brought me a shield, have you? With materia. Impressive. But don't imagine a bit of materia is enough to make up for shoddy workmanship. I had to kind of be blinded by sparklies, lad. Now let's have a closer look. Bugger me. This is when they make the step up from bronze to iron that the weaker craftsmen start to show their limitations. The metal's been a damn sight harder to shape after all. All manner of flaws creep into their work. But there ain't a single bleeding one in this shield. Your hammer blows were steady and measured. And you've kept the thickness of the iron nice and even too. No bugger with the shield split in half, because the armor beat a bit of the plate too thin. A fine piece of work. Damn fine. That's twice you passed me inspection now. I'm convinced. You have the kind of skill that demands respect, lad. So, as one artisan to another, let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts on Hananza's handling of the guild? I know you ain't been with us for long, but you must have wondered where she was playing at. Am I right? If you ask me, the soft-hearted wench is polluting the damn place with blundering amateurs, with her armorers in naught but name. An armorer crafts some gear as keeps men alive. If you lack the skill or the experience to make armor, and still do that job, you have no business holding a hammer. Just imagine what happened if a breastplate made by one of them lackwits fell apart in battle. And not just to the poor bastard wearing it, neither. I'm talking about what happened to the guild's good name. The way Hananza entrusts these novices with a real craftsman's work. She's spitting in the face of the builder. Only a tried and true armorer should be taking on orders and dealing with valued patrons. I mean, I will say, there's a point to a degree, like, they both have some things wrong, correct. Like, right, Hananza's right, that's like, listen, if I got rid of everybody who wasn't, like, top tier talent, we would not have enough people and we could not keep up with anything. But I maybe wouldn't let people work on important commissions, especially for frickin' armor, unless they had, like, their skills had been tested and they proved capable. By refusing to get rid of the dregs, that's not what I'm saying you should do. And also dampen the flames in our forges. Forge master my arse. How could she be so bloody blind? Oh boy. This ain't gonna be a situation easily solved. New hammer. Showing your steel, Forge Master Hananza wishes to speak with you. There you are. Tell me, were you able to prize anything useful out of Blansteer? What did he have to say? Dampening the flames in our forges. A familiar refrain. That stubborn old sod will never understand why his way is doomed to fail. Not that he's ever had even a thought to question it. If we choose not to pass on our knowledge, all of the techniques and methods we perfected over gods know how long are destined to perish along with us. Blansteer bemoans the dampening of our forge's flames, while advocating a course which would see them extinguished altogether. And that is why I will continue to expose all of our initiates to as many facets of the craft as I can, until such time as I die or am replaced. I may add that you yourself stand as a shining example of how effective this approach can be. I'll not force the issue, but you'd make the perfect champion for my cause. That said, Blancy has apparently come to much the same conclusion. He submitted an order that asked for you by name. But he's an armorer, can't he just make it himself? The order is for a single steel ingot. But being the difficult bastard that he is, he doesn't want just any steel ingot. He wants an ingot of the purest steel imaginable, and that'll require extra effort on your part. Well, I'll not keep you any longer. You've work to do, and a cantankerous artisan to impress. Increasing an item's quality during synthesis improves the chance that the resulting product will be of a higher grade, or high quality. So basically, Blansteer is testing us. Alright, so, in order to do this, steel ingots require 1 bomb mash and 2 iron ore. Iron ore, you mine it in Western Thanaland. Bomb mash, you can, I think, buy, kill bombs, or mine it in Southern Thanaland. So, let's do this. Now, we have to make this be a high quality craft. From here on out, all of our crafting quests will require high quality craft. It's just going to be the name of the game. In order to do that, we're going to use a few of these new buttons here that I have in the center. We're going to start out with Waste Not. Reduces the loss of durability by 50% for the next 4 steps. Then I will use Innovation to increase the efficiency of touch action by 50% for the next 4 steps. So we'll do Basic Touch, Standard Touch, and then Basic Touch again, And now we are all out of waste knot. That's done. That was 4 steps. Because yeah, using innovation counted. And then we'll use our last standard touch. And now our quality is at 100%. So now we just need to make sure that we can actually get progress to max. And to do that, I'm going to use veneration to increase the efficiency of synthesis actions by 50% for the next 4 steps. And that is just basic synthesis for the win. Done. Alright, Valancier, pretty sure we passed your test, but go ahead. You can take a look. You here to deliver that ingot, lad? I ain't one for idle chit-chat. Yeah, I got it. The weight feels right. Let's head inside and have a look, shall we? Ha! I knew you were up to the task, lad. You can't forge steel much purer than that. It's a common enough material, of course, and one no self-respecting armorer should have any trouble working. But it's the quality of these common materials that makes the difference between crafting a workaday piece and a masterpiece. No matter how shiny you polish it, your work will never be more than mediocre if the stuff you make it from is second rate. Any road, I can see you've already learned that lesson. I swear, every time our paths cross, you're twice the armorer you was before. And yet Hananza has a talented lad like yourself tired enough after her bungling bloody novices, instead of giving you the freedom to master your craft. Makes me blood boil, it does. If our guild to survive, it's gotta be able to serve its customers' needs. Any buggers don't contribute is to keeping the roof over our heads don't deserve to work under it. I've not but respect for you, Yaranthe. You're the kind of armorer this guild needs more of. But tell me true, are you really content to waste your career wiping the arses of Hananza's squalling babes? Your talent's being buried under a mountain of mediocrity, and it's high time you did something about it. As to what? Well, that's for you to decide. Are you trying to get me to become the new guild master? Because I don't know that I want that. Sounds like a lot of work. We got new flyers though. May the best armorer win. In a bid to quell mutinous murmurings within the guild, Forge Master Hananza has decided to entrust you with a prestigious commission. Ah, Yaranthe, the man whose name is on everyone's lips. In case you didn't know, the entire guild seems to be holding its breath, waiting to see which side you'll come down on. The popular opinion is that you're ready to take up with Blandsteer. I have no such concerns, of course. Had you resolved to distance yourself from me, we would not be holding this conversation. But that does not change the fact that your allegiance remains a subject of public debate, one which threatens the unity of the guild. I propose you dispel our colleagues' unfounded anxiety by demonstrating your affiliation in a manner that none may doubt or dispute. Specifically, I would have you accept the commission of a valued client on my behalf. That, I think, would serve as proof of both my faith in you and of your support for the guild's present course. Tell me, how do you try your hand at crafting a suit of steel chainmail? That sounds like a new kind of task. The order comes from a resident of Costa del Sol, an extremely wealthy and discerning gentleman who will accept nothing less than the finest quality armor. As you may imagine, his patronage is of great value to the guild. I need hardly add that I would not entrust this commission to an armorer in whom I had aught less than the utmost faith. The client's maidservant, Nordaweeb, will supply you with the finer details of the order. She should be here in the city, conducting business at the Fisherman's Guild as we speak. Why so far away? Why can't she be nearby? Like, the blacksmiths quest at the same level is kind of similar in that, hey, there's a wealthy dude from Costa del Sol. His servant is here. Talk to them to learn about your commission. And they're literally just there in the guild. Why do I have to go all the way to the Fisherman's Guild for this one? Why would you do this to me, game? This is very rude. Greetings and salutations. What an honor it is to meet another of Limsa Levinsa's famed artisans. I'm sorry, a commission? Oh dear, there seems to be some confusion. I have already entrusted my master's commission to a veteran craftsman of your esteemed organization. You are acquainted with Blandsteer? His reputation precedes him, you see, and I saw little reason to doubt that a man of his experience should be assigned the task. Oh, but I do not mean to suggest that you... Oh dear. I merely sought to justify my own misapprehension. Regrettable though this situation may be, I would hesitate to shame your colleague by stripping him of his commission. Given all the sterling work he's done for us in the past, I mean. Yet, I can well imagine you are loath to return to your superior empty-handed. Huh. Assuming the finished armor is of exceptional quality, my master will provide full remuneration regardless of the hand that forges the links. Mayhap it would be best for all concerned if you discuss the matter with your fellow armorer. Oh boy. This is not good. Game? Can I not? Thank you. We're about to have a competition. I mean, it's kind of in the quest name, you know, it's kind of obvious. But, oh boy. One of us will be declared the best armorer of the guild or something or some such. What the heck? Something in our running animation, it looks like my right foot is like bending. That's... What the hell? Surely I'm looking at that wrong. Well, if it ain't Hanan's lapdog. I heard about your little show of allegiance. I suppose Nordaweeb told you I snatched the commission from right under your nose, did she? Seems we got ourselves a thorny little predicament, don't it? Well, I ain't about to hand the job back to you on a silver bleeding platter. But that don't mean I want you to give up, neither. Don't you see? This is the perfect chance to find out who's the better armorer. To see which of us has walked the path, the right and proper path. I'm talking that a contest of skill, boy. Whichever of us crafts the finer suit of chainmail gets the job. But remember, this bloke pays good coin for a reason. He wants the best. And he ain't about to settle for less. Neither will I have to, of course. Your armor needs to be bloody flawless to be better than mine. So our mate will be getting his money's worth, whatever happens. Once you're ready, bring your armor back here and we'll lay it out next to mine. We've both got our pride, so I reckon we can judge the results fairly for ourselves. Now bugger off. Alright, Bladeseer, you're gonna make me do this in front of you. Or let me change that. I'm gonna make you watch me do this in front of you. Steel chainmail requires 3 steel rings and 1 undyed velveteen. The steel rings are crafted from steel ingots, and the undyed velveteen from cotton yarn and dew thread. Let's craft. Alright. We're gonna do waste not, innovation, and then basic touch, and just get that quality up to max so we can make a high quality suit of chainmail. Alright, and then we just veneration to victory. Well,
Pressure too much for you, lad? Or have you finally finished putting that chainmail together? Oh, it's finished. Right then. Let's have a look, shall we? By Byragot's beard! Where'd you learn to forge links like that? That's bloody perfect! Fuck! Rolger himself would struggle to stick a dagger through that steel. And look at that luster! Strength and beauty in equal goddamned measure! Ah, Ananza should be praising the builder for dropping a gift like yourself on her lap. You won fair and square, aren't they? I'll not bother to lecture you no more. I'll take your beauteous bloody chainmail to Norway with myself and let her know who it was that's crafted it. That's an old tradition among us armorers, in case you didn't know. The loser of these contests gets the job of delivering the victor's goods. Gloat while you can, lad. You just joined Hanans at the top of me list. This ain't over. Not by a long shot.
Oh dear. What have we done? We have joined an armor war. Hands of Steel. Forge Master Hanaza wishes to assign you a new commission. Greetings, Aranthe. I hear word you bested Blancier in an armorer's contest of skill. An impressive feat, and one which you should be proud. But I'm afraid you've made a most troublesome enemy, for he is both persistent and vindictive. As you well know, I speak from bitter experience on that matter. Rather than dwell on this unpleasant rivalry, however, I would have you focus on your craft. Ready your hammer and pliers, Aranthe. There is much and more to do. Master Linksath, over the Bismarck, has commissioned a new steel fry pan, and as one might expect from the head of the Culinarians Guild, he accepts only the finest of wares. Now, compared to pounding out thick protective plates of armor, cooking utensils, being generally smaller and lighter, require somewhat more delicate touch. You must bring all of your concentration to bear, lest you risk ruining the entire piece with a single misplaced blow. In light of recent events, which have no doubt left your mind scattered, I believe a task that fully engages your faculties will prove beneficial. Let us not keep Master Linksath waiting, Aranthe. To the forge with you! Alright, so we make a high quality steel fry pan, which requires one steel plate crafted out of 2 steel ingots, I think? Yeah, 2 steel ingots, and 1 oak lumber made from 3 oak logs. Let's get it done. We're going to do waste not, an innovation, our typical opening when I need to make it be high quality. It is not rising nearly as high as I wanted to. Come on with this last one. Oh, I can do tricks of the trade. Actually, do I... I'm worried on how many... I'm going to do a couple synthesis. Okay, it's going up by 40. Damn. We're going to have to hope that 83% is enough. Beautiful. Where's that fry pan, Yarente? Is it true that you are no longer wait, no. Look, I read that wrong. It is true that you are no longer some rank novice, but do not think your posterior safe in the toe of my boot if you choose to dither and dally. It's right here, boss. Truly, another consummate work. I can find no flaw with its weight or balance. It's not so heavy as to be a struggle to lift, yet it remains sturdy enough to endure the frantic pace of the Bismarck's kitchens. I trust at this juncture that you comprehend in full my earlier warning. To produce a fry pan of this quality would most certainly have required your undivided attention, and I can tell this item received just that. The consistency of the metal's thickness is all the evidence one needs. This type of precision should not be undervalued. In this case, should the fry pan be poorly forged, the heat of its cooking surface will be uneven, and such flaws are unacceptable to an exacting culinarian, such as Master Lingsaf. Even the sturdiest of utensils, however, rarely last him more than a few seasons. It is a struggle to find armorers who can meet his demanding specifications when he turns to our guild for replacements. I had long intended to assign this commission to you, but your encounter with Blanseer had me doubting your ability to concentrate. This is one of those rare occasions when I am happy to be proven wrong. Your uncompromising attention to detail continues to be an inspiration to your colleagues. And speaking of details, there's one that remains unattended. Delivering this fry pan into Master Lingsaf's hands. I trust you do not need directions to the Culinarians Guild? Oh, we don't. We've been leveling Culinarian. We definitely know about that. That said, I wish there was a closer Aetheryte that I could go to right here instead of having to go all the way over to the Aft Castle. Oh well. You've come to deliver me a new fry pan, have you? I have. Let's move that back down there. Well now, ain't she a beauty? With this pan, I'll be able to whip up all sorts of dishes, and not fret about burning the middle or undercooking the edges. You say this was your work? Hot damn! Only the Forge Master herself's never been able to make utensils what I'd consider worthy of the Bismarck. Seems like I finally got me another craftsman I can trust. You're welcome to me kitchen anytime, lad. I should hope, though. Let's get the gloves. Best of 3. Forge Master Hananza has an announcement for you. I hope you're feeling competitive, Yeranthe, for Blansteer has submitted a formal challenge. It seems he needs to recover the pride you cost him with your previous victory. He is an overgrown, sulky child who sees his fellow colleagues as not more than rivals. In his tiny little world, all that matters is who is the best, who is the brightest, and who is the most able to provide immediate value to the guild. Now, I would be lying if I said I did not also take such factors into account. You well know my demand for excellence, but the methods we take to reach it differ vastly. Blansteer would run a guild of exclusion, one in which an adventurer like yourself would have been unwelcome. The lack of sense in that is clear. He may be my equal in skill and technique, but it is this narrow perspective that weighed the balance against him in our contest for the Guildmaster's chair. I won, and he lost. That simple fact plays an enormous role in the enmity that now lies between us. And I'm certain that past defeat is no small part of what fuels Blansteer's present desire to prove himself your better. I regret that this ridiculous feud has drawn you into its bitter maw. But if it means seeing that stubborn old dodo put in his place, then I'm just childish enough myself to encourage you to accept. Blansteer waits you in his usual haunt. Go to him and show him that you've the steel to pick up the gauntlet he's thrown down. Oh, I'll pick up that gauntlet, and I'll forge a better one. I've had just about enough of Hananza's coddling ways. She's raising a generation of slackjaws, what look like armorers, but ain't fit to wipe the soot from a proper craftsman's backside. I mean, if you're a proper craftsman,
there probably shouldn't be sit on your ass, because one, you should be wearing some fucking clothes. And two, if your clothes have been destroyed in a fire, then that means somewhere along the line you seriously fucked up, and you're definitely not a proper craftsman. I'm just saying, guys. Before you know it, folk will start losing trust in the trade itself. Here's the pride and tradition are crumbling to dust around our feet. Of course, ever since you bested me in our little competition, my words don't carry the weight they once did. Seems like I gotta take you down a few pegs before I can start putting things alright. Aye, the world needs to know that old Blanchsteer is not to be beaten by one of Hananza's lot, even if it were her prize pup. Sir, I am a bunny, not a pup. What's the difference? The ears and the lack of tail. We'll settle this the old-fashioned way. A 3-round contest of skill. There ain't no point in dragging this out, so let's get straight to the challenge for the first round. The finest of mithril cuirass you can forge. As I'll be choosing the tasks, we'll leave the appraisal of work to your precious forge master. I'll be taking me armor to her directly. Once you've shown Hananza your own cuirass and heard her decision, you bring the piece to me so I can see it for myself. So are we gonna do the classic? We win round 1, we lose round 2, and then we come back and we win round 3? Because that's usually how these kinds of things tend to go. So let's see here. Mithril cuirass. We need 2 mithril plates, which are forged from 2 mithril ingots each. 1 mithril ring, forged from 1 mithril ingot, and 1 electrum ingot, which is fused from... Is there electrum ore? There is electrum ore. 4 electrum ore. Wow. Okay. Well, let's get it done. We waste not, and we innovate, and then we just touch it. With our pliers. Alright, and then venerate and synthesize. I kind of wish I could show it to Blanchsteer first, since he's, you know, right there, but oh well. Blanchsteer's already been here to submit his work for appraisal. You have mithril queers prepared as well, I trust? I do. To the highest quality. This is superb craftsmanship, Yaranthe. It seems the pressures of this challenge have done naught to cloud your eye for detail. In fact, you may have produced your finest piece yet. It is superior to Blanchsteer's in every respect. You think me biased? Well, yes, it is true that I despise that self-centered windbag, but I mean to judge this contest fairly, and the Rogadin's armor was indeed forged with its customary quality. But it is thus that the brilliance of your cuirass shines all the more brightly for improving on the work of a master artisan. Mithril is a notoriously difficult material to shape, yet see the gloss of these plates. Not a single imperfection to mar the surface. I've cast an eye over many a suit of armor, but it is refreshing so that I can still be impressed. The first round goes to you. I only wish I could be there to see Blanchsteer weep when you show him the masterpiece you have created. I mean, I'll make him weep. I wish you could see them like side by side. They just had like make a separate model of like one armor that's just like slightly worse. You can just barely tell. So, Hananza chose your armor over mine, did she? Ugh. Surprise, surprise. Come then, pup. Let's see this bloody work of art. Huh. Well, you have not been neglecting your craft, that much is certain. I can't rightly disagree with her decision, but the next round will be a different story. You can be sure of that. New pliers. New gloves. For the good of the guild, Forge Master Hananza wishes to relate to you Blanseer's next challenge. Blanseer has notified me of the challenge for the second of your contest. Beating the first has humbled him not a whit, it seems. You may have gained an early lead, Yaranthe, but keep your focus sharp. As I said before, complacency can be your downfall. And a man like Blanseer is at his most dangerous when his pride is on the line. Now, according to the wishes of our vindictive veteran, for this round, you're to craft several items, and you must do so within a reasonable time frame to reflect the pressures of an actual commission. He fails to mention what he considers to be reasonable, so I suggest you work with dispatch. The challenge requires you to forge a pair of mithril-plated caligae, a reinforced mithril elmo, and a pair of mithril solarets, all of the finest possible quality. Naturally, every one of these items requires an abundance of mithril ore. See how he deliberately chooses the same material as before? Such is Blanseer's confidence in his ability, and his certitude that he cannot be beaten twice under similar conditions. This is your chance to unravel that obnoxious self-assurance and end this contest with a second-round victory. If anyone can quench the fury of that insufferable Oryx, it is you. Bring your submissions to me once you have satisfied with your forging. Take no shortcuts. I expect to see armor of unsurpassed quality. I'm just gonna make a prediction right now. Ours is going to be the exact same quality, if not better, but because he was faster and we were like too slow, we're gonna lose. Alright, mithril plated caligae requires 1 pice leather crafted using pice skin and black alumine, 1 mithril plate crafted with 2 mithril ingots, 1 mithril rivets crafted through 1 mithril ingot, 1 bronze ingot, which we haven't seen in a while. That's 2 copper ore and 1 tin ore. And then lastly, 1 hippogriff sinew. Go kill hippogriffs in Mordona. Come on, game. Don't screw me over with the high quality, please. Alright, 68% chance. God damn it. I can make another one, but I'm gonna wait till I do the other 2 items first to see, just in case there's like something there. Yeah, like the mithril rivets. There we go. And the pice leather. So, reinforced mithril elmo requires mithril rivets, pice leather, and a mithril elmo already. Which wanted to make that, I needed 2 mithril plates, 1 mithril rivet, and 1 boar leather. So, let's reinforce it. Since it's high quality, I should get a boost. And it's only a 5%. Oh, God. That would make high quality items suck sometimes. Especially at... Holy God! Was the condition at excellent? Fuck yeah, let's go! Hell yeah. Last one, mithril solarets. I am short a mithril ring. 1 mithril plate, 2 mithril ingots, 1 all goat leather crafted with all goat skin, and also an element, I think? Yeah, and an element. And then lastly, a hippogriff sinew. And then the 2 mithril rings need to be crafted using mithril ingots. I only got 1 more. Let's just, let's make it, because we need it. Alright, now let's make the solarets. Excellent. Okay. So I'm just going to remake the Caligae. I'm going to see if I can get the materials to do it. Otherwise, we'll have to go to the market board. Okay, I'm short mithril plate and mithril rivets. That's 3 mithril ingots I would need to make. I don't have any ingots. Can I can make some. Oh, thank God. I'm going to try to high quality them to help out our odds of making the Caligae. And if the second attempt doesn't work, we're just going to go buy one. Assuming there's a high quality one available for sale. Alright, one more ingot. This is why oftentimes when I'm out doing my gathering for materials, I like to go ahead and grab extra, just in case of moments like this. It is extremely helpful. Okay, and then the mithril plates. Actually, wait, hold on. Let me reconfirm Caligae. What did I need? 1 plate, 1 rivet. Okay, let's do the rivet first. Good, that's high quality. Now I need to make, what was it, 2 plates or 1 plate? 1 plate, okay. This one will easily be high quality. Like I said, easily. Okay, mithril plated Caligae, round 2. Fight. Already looking better. Absolutely beautiful. Do the pieces required for the second round? I need to see a pair of mithril-plated Caligae, a reinforced mithril Elmo, and a pair of mithril Solarets. All the best quality you could muster. And don't think I didn't see that failure of your first attempt. You better hope you don't lose that on speed. Well done, Yaranthe. Your work is flawless. I would declare you the victor this very moment, except... I need you to relinquish this armor to the guild. As for the why, it concerns a potentially dire loss of trust and reputation. What? Do you recall the time you aided one of our novices with an order of bronze hoplons? Well, I'm afraid young Swithin has failed to deliver once more. He has improved much in his craft, spurred on as he was by your example, but again, the lad accepted a commission he could never hope to honor, and one does not break a promise made to the Maelstrom. I could drop full responsibilities for this failure onto Swithin's unreliable shoulders and cast him out of the guild, but what worth is a guild that does not support its own members when they truly need it? Blancier is a harsh man, but not entirely without reason. If you explain the circumstances, he may grant you a few extra days to forge your submission anew. What say you, Yaranthe? Will you yield your work to the guild? I mean, I don't really have much of a choice.
Byron God's blessings upon you, Yaranthe. Swithin, come over here and show your gratitude. I don't know how to repay you for saving my neck yet again. I'll never forgive myself for costing you your victory over Blandsteer. But the compassion you and the Forge Master have shown me this day won't be squandered. This I promise you. I'll work twice as hard, 3 times even, so long as you don't give up your sleep and food and personal time. We are in your debt. I'll arrange to have these pieces delivered to the Maelstrom Quartermasters immediately. Meanwhile, you should hurry over to Blandsteer and explain the delay in your submission. Blandsteer is totally not going to accept this. I also don't understand, like, why can't we just, like, clearly that means that we made these way before Blandsteer did. Since he's not here yet. So, first of all, we should win on that front alone. Second of all, why can't we just wait for Blandsteer to be like, hey, how long is it going to take you? Compare the two, and then we can send these both to the Maelstrom. What's this now? You let the guild have your armor to make a missed order? Ha ha ha! What'd I tell ya? Those fumble-fingered parasites are holding you back at every turn. You was meant to honor the terms of our contest, no matter the circumstances. Now you have neither the gear you crafted to show for your efforts, nor the time to forge a new submission. This round goes to me. Bullshit. I grant you, this ain't the kind of victory a man looks for. But rules is rules, yet your rules. And failure comes with consequence. So I don't want to hear no excuses for the final round. You just bring your best work to the table, and we'll let the results stand for themselves. Alright, fuck you, Blandsteer. I wasn't saying it before, but fuck you. So get a hammer out of it. I also want to descent these. What would they have become? A bronze ingot. I got the least valuable thing. A normal quality bronze ingot. The least valuable thing I could have gotten from descenting that. Absolutely pathetic. Rivalry and respect. Forge Master Hananza wishes to speak with you regarding Blandsteer's final challenge. I must thank you again, Yaranthe, for sacrificing your time and effort to help our guild with that order for the Maelstrom. It behooves us not to fail clients such as they, no matter the reason. But as is our fate, we are rarely afforded a respite from the flames of the Forge. I have recently been informed that Admiral Merlude will be inspecting various organizations, our own Armorers Guild included, and their roles in promoting Limsa trade with the East. The impressions made during this inspection will have direct influence on whom the Maelstrom chooses as the provider of its equipment and other sundry supplies. Blandsteer, in his usual arrogant manner, has proposed that we seize this opportunity to have the Admiral herself serve as arbiter for the final round of your contest. Ugh, imagine how that bastard would crow if he were to suffer defeat before the commander of Limsa's Grand Company. The credence such a public failure would lend to his arguments would spell the end of the guild as we know it. You must not allow this to come to pass. Success in this third and final challenge hinges on your ability to forge what might need to be the most exquisite cobalt halberdion in the realm. And as you'd expect, it is one of the more demanding pieces of armor a student of our discipline can attempt. While I harbor not the slightest doubt that you will produce a halberdion of surpassing quality, let us tip the scales in your favor by augmenting it with materia. A Heaven's Eye materia, the 3rd grade, to do the trick. Once your armor is complete, deliver it to Sergeant Zwinberg at Hawker's Round, and he will see it pass along to the Admiral. Alright, so a Cobalt Halberdion. What does this look like? I'm curious. Oh, okay. So, this is crafted using 2 Cobalt rings, which are each crafted with 1 Cobalt ingot, 1 undyed felt, which is... Wow. Fleece, Snurble Tufts, and Natron. That's a lot of things. Additionally, 1 Mithril plate, crafted using 2 Mithril ingots, and 1 boar leather, crafted out of boar hide and... Alaman or black Alaman? Regular Alaman. Okay. So let's get crafting. Does using Pirate Scout's Blessing, does that count as a step? Will that use up durability? I'm not sure. Let's see this. Okay, especially the 100% plus 20 for each count of my inner quiet stacks, up to a maximum of 300%. So it would be 140%, which is better than both of these. But mathematically, it would be better to still do standard touch and basic touch, because that would be basically in total 225% chance. So I should just keep doing that. Oh, so since we have a good condition. Oh, very good. 85% chance to be high quality. Let us see how this ends up going. Yes! Alright. So, we now need to affix some materia to it. So, we'll go over here to meld. And we want, what is it? Heaven's Eye. Alright, let's go find Zwinberg. Hawker's Round, they say. Where the heck is that? Okay, it's somewhere on the lower decks, apparently. Alright, what's the closest warp? Oh, it's right by the main aetherite. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, it's not. It's at Hawker's Alley. I saw a big circle and so I was like, oh, aetherite circle. No, that's not it at all. But here they are. Yernthe Xantok? Ah, you have a Cobalt Halbergen for me then? It would not do to keep Admiral Merlube waiting. Consider your submission accepted. I think you'll enjoy the Admiral's, methods of appraisal. Oh boy. What is she gonna do? Yernthe, Blansteer, this, the final round of your contest, will decide victory or defeat. May the best armorer win. Admiral, who are these gentlemen? Where are the mannequins? I find little can be learned from insipidly lifeless models, so I've decided to take a different tack. My men here will wear your armor submissions instead. I see. Do you intend to take on various poses for your inspection? In a manner of speaking, we wish to determine the quality of the armor, do we not? I prefer the direct approach. You don't mean what I think. Oh, you do. Bybergot's beard! What kind of appraisal is this? A fun one. You really that surprised, Ananza? No finer way to test your gear than in the heat of battle. Using flesh and blood wars is hardly necessary. What are the risks of injury? I mean, if there's such a great risk of injury, then you shouldn't have put your armor up to be tested. Me armor was built to withstand far worse than this. If those blokes got hurt by them oversized hatchets, then I ain't got no business being here. You agree on that score, don't you, Yernthe? I actually do. I do still think it's a necessary risk, but it's a good point. Well, well. It appears your claims to excellence are more than empty boasts. Let's raise the stakes, shall we?
And Hansa is just like, holy shit.
Admiral, you go too far! Such expensive equipment is of little use to us that cannot stop a bullet. Unless you think me reckless, my men were never in any real danger. I quite carefully inspected the sturdiness of both halberdians before we began. You are not the only one with an eye for quality, dear Forge Master. In any case, it appears we have a winner.
I don't believe it. The shot punched through me links. What's so damn different between your armor and mine?
The secret ingredient is love. Perhaps the reason you cannot answer that question, armorer, is the reason you just lost to your colleague.
Bloody hells.
This was the most educational and entertaining experience. When the Maelstrom next finds itself in need of replacement equipment, I believe I know just the sort of armorer to whom we shall turn. You know, I'll say it. I think even to this day, Merlu remains one of the best designed characters in the entire game. Congratulations, Yerente. It was a close contest, but you've struck a telling blow here today nonetheless. And I mean that both in terms of like her actual physical design and also just like her character. She's just so cool. The question is, does Blanchard yet realize his folly? It will be best for you to seek him out, to learn where we now stand. All right. There's a warp right here. Lancer's gonna be in his usual spot, I assume. Yeah. All right, let's go check in and see how he's doing.
Cause of me beaten and broken, have you? You've made a bloody fool out of me. I've made a fool out of myself. I was just too thick-headed and stubborn to see it coming. Reckon I ought to steer clear of guild business for a time. Give me some distance to think on all this. But you tell that harpy Hananza that she better not let this place fall to pieces. I'll still be watching.
I mean, at the very least, Blanchard, you make a good appraiser. Like, you can tell when something is quality or not. Just, you gotta be less of a dick. How very like Blanchard had the last word. At least now he seems to have grasped the idea that his way is not as absolute as he believed. After all, the greatest source of innovation is found in our connection with others. For instance, did you know that kobold was the original pronunciation of cobalt? It was through trade with those beastman miners that we first encountered and subsequently refined the use of cobalt ore. Without such contact, it is unlikely that the armor you forged for the last round of your contest would even exist today. There is only so much an armor can achieve on his own. It is mutual respect and a healthy dose of friendly rivalry that truly spurs the improvement of a craft. Blancier's grievous mistake was to see his rivals as enemies. By walling himself off from his peers, he denied himself the knowledge of techniques which you were grateful enough to receive. His defeat was inevitable. And it was your determination and skill that taught him the dangers of stagnation. You embody everything I stand for, Yerinthe, and the guild is richer for your presence. Alright, so we're gonna get Kerdalagon for our new tool. We get some choices here for the thing. So let's compare here. That is going to be 7-point difference for control and 2 CP. Again, 7 points for control and 2 CP. And then lastly, 10 more control and 3 craftsmanship. Before I pick that though, I want to check the hat. Can we wear it? No. Darn shame. We'll get the boots. This concludes the armor quest for Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. In order to undertake the next series of quests, you must first meet the following requirements. You must have completed the main scenario quest before the dawn. Once you have done so, the next armor quest will be available from Hananza. Alright, let's get our new tools. There we go. Oh, what does this hammer look like, though? Oh, I like how big it is. Very nice looking.